Hello, my friend. You're welcome to the first lesson of our core English from Unit 2, Lesson 1. I'm Mr. Timothy Scott, and I'll be taking you through lessons in the Unit 2. And for our first lesson today, we're going to be looking at some vital things, important things which I believe you will love to know. At the end of today's lesson, I want to understand that I can identify different vowel sounds in my individual code charts. I can read and write words with the E spelling. I can ask and answer questions about key details in the story, Gran's trips. I hope this should also be your target for today's lesson. That at the end of today's lesson, you should be able to identify different vowel sounds in your individual code charts, that you can read and write words with the E spelling, and you can ask and answer questions about key details in the story, Gran's trips. First, let's have our flip book review. I bet you're familiar with all the sounds displaying on your screen right now. Let's start from the first sound there, as in cats, cats, her, her brother, a, as in they, when, oh, home, or fall. Were you able to make all those sounds? Alright, now let's move a step further. This year, you will have your own individual code charts that are similar to the vowel code flip book. As time goes on, I'm going to pass this out and you will write your names on the bottom of the pages. But meanwhile, ensure you have your individual code chart. This will help you to always go back and do revision on your own. You can always go back to your code charts and practice your vowel and your consonant sounds. Now, these charts will help you when you are not sure about how to spell a word. Your individual code chart will help you when you are not sure about how to spell a word. You see, that's why it is very important for you to have your code chart. Here's a word displaying on your screen. If you came to this word and you were not sure how to say it, you could use your individual code chart to help you. Meanwhile, can you pronounce the word on your screen? I can try. Flat. You see, I have my individual code chart. I have my personal code chart. And whenever I'm not sure of the word, how to pronounce it, I can use my code chart to bring the words together, to bring the sounds together and get the words pronounced. This is a vowel sound. In this lesson, and as we proceed with different lessons, we will try to always trace vowel sounds in green. In my code chart, I should put my vowel sounds in green color. Here's the first vowel sound, ah. The short vowel, ah. Parts. Can you repeat after me? Poof. Ah. Tss. Parts. Does parts sound like flats? Flats. Parts. Flats. Parts. Here are other words with the short vowel ah sound. Flats, hats, clap, snap. If you were able to pronounce all that, why don't you give yourself a thumbs up? Okay, we're moving forward now. Now we are going to review the rest of the short vowel sound spellings in the vowel code flipbook. Remember, you will trace these all in green. Every vowel you will trace in green color in your code flipbook. Here's another vowel, e, p, e, ts, pet, p, e, ts, pets, e. Can you say after me? E, e. Say it again. Pets. E, e, eat, eats, eats, eats. O, 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 hop, o, hop, o, o, b, o, ts, but, b, o, ts, but. If you were able to do all of those sounds and you were able to get all of the short vowels, remember, put them in green colors in your personal code charts book and practice them always. Now, here's today's new sound. Today's new sound is the long vowel E. The long vowel E. The long vowel E. Repeat these words after me. Eats, each, each, east, east, eagle, eagle. Now, here are other words with the long vowel E sound in the middle. So first, we took a look at the words with the E sound at the beginning. Now, here are words with the E sound in the middle. Peace, peace, I have peace of mind. Peace. Greets. 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 Meets. Meets. And heats. Heats. Take note, the E sound in these words are in the middle. The E sound can be represented by two vowels, E and A, standing together, or E and E standing together. Now let's look at words with the E sound at the end. E sound at the end. Repeat these words after me, because these words have the E sound at the end. B, B, B. Me, me. Key, key. Tree, tree. What other words can you think about that have the E sound at the end? You can put them down in your book. You can put those words down in your book. Now I'm going to say some words. Some of these words will have the E sound in the middle, and some will not. Some of these words will have the E sound in the middle, and some will not. Okay. B, B. Does B have the E sound in the middle? Of course not. It has the E sound at the end. How about fits? Fits. Fits. Eats. Fits. Okay, it has the E sound at the middle. Now the E sound can be spelled with double E. With double E. I mean vowel E written twice and standing together. E. I guess you can practice how to write the letter E perfectly. Okay, now please turn to your page 2 of your individual code charts. Let's trace the spelling in green. If you have your workbook with you, bring it out and gently trace the vowel E. Gently trace the vowel E and color it in green color. Whenever the E spelling appears on a worksheet or in a story for the next few lessons, it will appear in bold and dark ink for you to easily recognize it. So when we read through our stories in this lesson and other lessons, you will see the vowel E, the long vowel E, appearing in bold dark ink like seed, knee, need, free, tree. All right, take out your workbook, worksheet 1.1, put down your spellings in the word box. I bet you can do that. Remember, the sound for today is vowel E. It's vowel E. Long vowel E. In worksheet 1.1, for each word on this worksheet, there are 3 pictures. You will write the word under its matching picture, as you can see in my example. Sweet, sweet, written under sweet. You do same in your own. Okay, are you ready? We're about to read our first story for this term from the book Gran. Gran. What's Gran? How does that sound to you? Gran. What do you think Gran represents? Today, you will hear a story from our new reader. Let's take a look at the cover of our big book. What do you think Gran is short for? Gran. Gran. Gran is short for grandma. Was that your guess? Oh, I believe you might be thinking about something else. Gran. Well, Gran is the short form to say grandma. Grandma. Now, this book has 3 main characters: Gran, Jen, and Josh. Gran, Jen, and Josh. Jen and Josh are Gran's grandchildren. Jen and Josh are Gran's grandchildren. That means Gran is the grandmother of Jen and Josh. Gran is the grandmother of Jen and Josh. We will see that Gran is very adventurous and likes to try new things. When we say someone is adventurous, it means the person is always interested in trying out new things. So let's find the table of content. The first story in this book is called Gran's Trips. Gran's Trips. Now, I want you to take note at the title of the stories in your reader, because the story's title often gives us a clue as to what the story is about. A story's title always gives us a clue as to what the story is about. So if the first title story is called Gran's Trips, if I know what trip is, then I should have an idea what the story Gran's Trips is about. Gran's. Take a look at the punctuation mark there. G, R, A, Gran. And there's an apostrophe. That's what that punctuation mark is called. Apostrophe. An apostrophe before S. The punctuation mark you're seeing there is called apostrophe. Apostrophe. An apostrophe tells us that the trip belongs to Gran. Gran's trip. The trip belongs to Gran. It was Gran that went on the trip. Gran's trip. Gnats, cats. What belongs to gnats? I said an apostrophe can help us know the owner, who it belongs to. Nat's cat. So what belongs to Nat? A cat. A cat belongs to Nat. The cat belongs to Nat. The apostrophe tells us this. The apostrophe makes us know that the cat belongs to Nat. Look at another example. Beth's mom. Beth's mom. With the use of the apostrophe there, it's easy to know what has. So what does Beth have? Beth's mom. Beth has a mom. Beth has a mom. Now in the story of Gran's trip, you will learn that Gran travels to many places, including the Swiss Alps and Hong Kong. What do you think Gran will do in these places? The Swiss Alps and Hong Kong. Gran also visits a gulf. What's a gulf? A gulf is a part of the ocean where the water is usually warm. A gulf is a part of the ocean where the water is usually warm. So what might someone do at the gulf? Gulf, a part of the ocean where the water is usually warm. Now let's review the spellings in the words that we will see in the story. The first, we have the words with E sound, like sea, street, tree, steep, eel, feed. Sea, street, tree, steep, eel, feed. And we have words with as in sing, wing, Hong Kong, Hong Kong. And the tricky words we come across in these stories include says, when, he, which, was, when, where, there, where, what, from, what, from. These are the tricky words we will encounter in the story. Remember, tricky words are words that do not follow the regular sound and spelling that you are accustomed to by the sounds you've put down in your flip book. So ensure you practice the tricky word. Okay, let's look at the vocabulary. The new words we might encounter in this story. The new words we might encounter in the story. The first word here is shrug. First word there is shrug. What does it mean to shrug? Well, I do it a lot of times. Shrug. Steep. Steep. Cliff. Cliff. Slick. Slick. Cling. Golf. Eel. Now let's read to find out what type of adventures Gran had in the Swiss Alps, Hong Kong, and the Gulf. Now the questions should be, who are the main characters in the story? As we read through the stories, I want you to have it in mind, the main characters in the story. Now, what are Josh and Jane doing at the very beginning of the story? Where did Gran go before she came to see Josh and Jane? What did Gran do in the Swiss Alps? Who did Gran meet in Hong Kong? What did Gran do when she visited the Gulf? I'm going to say some words. You give me a thumbs up if you think the word describes Gran, a thumbs down if you think it does not. Lazy. Was Gran lazy? Adventurous. Fun. Was she fun-loving? Shy. Was Gran a shy person? Can we take a look at worksheet 1.2? Gran's trips. Gran's trips. And worksheet 1.3 is your take home. Ensure you complete your classes, complete your work, and in our next class we will see more about Gran's